You did what with my surgery money? Holly, calm down. A car is a necessity. That was $30,000 for my spinal surgery. I can barely walk. Don't be dramatic. Your stepmother needed reliable transportation. I'm paralyzed from the waist down. My dad used my surgery fund to upgrade his wife's car. Hi, I'm Holly. Today, I'm going to tell you my story. But before I continue, please share, and subscribe to hear more stories like this. Life has a funny way of showing you who people really are when you need them most. I learned that lesson the hard way when I was 23, lying in a hospital bed with a broken spine, and discovered my father cared more about his new wife's luxury than his daughter's ability to walk. Let me start from the beginning. I was always Daddy's little girl, or at least I thought I was. My parents divorced when I was 15, and while it was messy, Dad always promised he'd be there for me. "You're my princess, Holly," he'd say. "Nothing will ever change that." When he married Sharon 2 years later, things shifted. Sharon was, well, she was something. Blonde, 10 years younger than Dad, and with expensive tastes that seemed to drain his wallet daily. But I tried to be supportive. Dad seemed happy, even if he was constantly stressed about money. I threw myself into college, studying physical therapy. Ironic, considering what happened later. I was athletic, ran track, rock climbed on weekends. My mom, Beth, would joke that I couldn't sit still if my life depended on it. "You get that from your father," she'd say. "Always moving, always doing." My roommate Sarah and I had plans to hike the Appalachian Trail after graduation. I'd been saving money since freshman year. Every birthday check, every extra shift at work went into that account. Dad had helped me open it when I turned 18, co-signing because I was still a minor at the time. "Smart girl," he'd said then. "Always save for your dreams." If only he'd remembered that advice himself. Everything changed on a rainy Thursday in October. I was driving home from my part-time job at the rehab center when a drunk driver ran a red light. The impact sent my Honda spinning across the intersection and straight into a concrete barrier. I remember the sound most: metal crunching, glass exploding, then silence. When I tried to move my legs, nothing happened. "Don't move, sweetheart," a paramedic said, though I couldn't have if I wanted to. "We're going to take care of you." The diagnosis was devastating: incomplete spinal cord injury at L2, not fully severed, which meant hope, but significant damage that left me paralyzed from the waist down. The doctor said with intensive surgery and rehabilitation, I had a 60% chance of regaining function. "The surgery is specialized," Dr. Patel explained to my parents in the ICU. "We need to stabilize the vertebrae and decompress the nerves. Time is critical. The sooner we operate, the better her chances." "Whatever it takes," Dad said immediately. "Whatever my daughter needs." Mom squeezed my hand. "We'll figure it out, baby." The surgery estimate was steep, $30,000 after insurance. But I'd been smart. Since starting college, I'd saved religiously in a high-yield account Dad had helped me open. Between my savings, a small inheritance from my grandmother, and Dad's promise to contribute, we had exactly what we needed. "I'll handle the financial arrangements," Dad volunteered. "You focus on getting better, princess." I should have known something was wrong when Sharon showed up to visit, dripping in new jewelry. "Oh, Holly," she cooed, air kissing near my cheek. "This must be so hard for you. But you're young. You'll bounce back." "The doctors say if I get the surgery within the next month—" "Surgery, surgery, surgery," she interrupted. "That's all anyone talks about. What about alternative medicine? My friend's cousin's yoga teacher swears by healing crystals." "Sharon, I have a spinal cord injury. I need actual medical intervention." She shrugged. "I'm just saying, Western medicine isn't everything. Plus, those surgeries are so expensive. Your poor father's been so stressed about money." Mom practically growled from her chair. "Then maybe he shouldn't have bought you that new designer purse." The temperature in the room dropped. Sharon's smile turned icy. "Some of us maintain our appearance even during difficult times, Beth." After she left, Mom shook her head. "That woman is poison, Holly. Pure poison." Weeks passed. I did grueling physical therapy to maintain what function I had, but without surgery, progress was limited. The therapists were kind but honest. The window for optimal surgical outcome was closing. "When's your surgery scheduled?" my physical therapist Marcus asked during a session. Soon. Dad's handling the finances. He frowned. Holly, I don't mean to pry, but most patients have dates scheduled by now. You're almost at the 6-week mark. That night, I called Dad. Hey, just checking on the surgery scheduling. Dr. Patel's office hasn't heard from you. Oh, yeah. Been busy, princess. I'll call tomorrow. Dad, it's been 3 weeks. The optimal window. I know. God, everyone's pressuring me. I said I'll handle it. The sharpness in his voice startled me. Dad had never snapped at me like that before. Mom was immediately suspicious. Something's not right. You should check your account. Mom, Dad wouldn't. Just check, honey. With shaking hands, I logged into my savings account from my phone. The balance showed $0. My blood turned to ice. $30,000. Gone. I called the bank frantically. There must be a mistake. That's my surgery fund. I show a withdrawal 3 weeks ago, the representative said. The authorized account holder came in personally. Which authorized account holder? Mr. David Winters. Your father, according to our records. The room spun. Dad was joint on the account from when he'd helped me open it years ago. I'd never removed him because, well, he was my dad. I trusted him. With trembling fingers, I called him. Dad, my surgery account is empty. Silence. Then, Holly, I can explain. You took my surgery money? The money for me to walk again? It's not like that. I was going to put it back. Put it back from where? Dad, I'm paralyzed. Stop being so dramatic. You're not completely paralyzed. The doctor said you have some sensation. I can't walk. Well, Sharon needed a reliable car. Hers broke down and… You did what with my surgery money? Holly, calm down. A car is a necessity. That was $30,000 for my spinal surgery. I can barely walk. Don't be dramatic. Your stepmother needed reliable transportation. I'm paralyzed from the waist down. The call ended. Or maybe I hung up. I was sobbing too hard to remember. Mom arrived within minutes of my hysterical call to her. When I told her what happened, I watched her face cycle through disbelief, rage, and devastating hurt. He used your surgery money for Sharon's car? She whispered. Your father, the man who cried when you took your first steps, used the money meant to help you walk again for that woman's car? Mom, what am I going to do? The surgery window is closing. I'll be in this chair forever. No, you will not. Mom's voice turned steel. We're going to fix this. The next morning, Mom drove me to Dad's house. Sharon's new car sat in the driveway, a fully loaded white Mercedes SUV with temporary tags. $60,000 car, Mom muttered. That witch upgraded using your money as down payment. Dad answered the door, looking haggard. Beth, Holly, let's discuss this rationally. Rationally? Mom pushed past him, wheeling me inside. You stole from your paralyzed daughter? Sharon appeared, keys jingling. Excuse me, this is our home. Bought with Holly's money too, I'm betting, Mom snapped. How dare you? David, are you going to let her talk to me like that? Dad looked between us, then at me in my wheelchair. For a moment, I saw something flicker in his eyes. Guilt, maybe even remorse. Then Sharon touched his arm and his face hardened. The money was technically joint property. I had every right. Legal right, maybe, I said quietly. But moral right? Dad, I'm your daughter. I'm hurt. I need surgery to walk again. How could you? Sharon's my wife. She has needs too. A luxury SUV is not a need, Mom exploded. Your daughter's spinal surgery is a need. I told you I'd pay it back. When? How? You're mortgaged to the hilt, maxed on credit cards. Oh yes, I know about your financial situation. When exactly were you planning to come up with $30,000? Sharon stepped forward. Maybe if Holly had better insurance. Get out, I said. Everyone looked at me. Sharon, get out of the room. This is between me and my father. She huffed but left, making sure to jangle her Mercedes keys again. Dad, I said, tears streaming. Look at me, really look at me. I'm in a wheelchair. Not by choice, not temporarily. Maybe permanently if I don't get this surgery. You did this. You chose a car over your daughter's legs. That's not… I didn't think of it like that. Then how did you think of it? He couldn't answer. Mom and I left without another word, but that night she made calls. Lots of calls. Your mom's sister is an attorney, she told me. Joanne says what he did might be legal, but we have options. And Holly? The whole family knows now. Everyone. The family explosion was swift. My grandparents, Dad's own parents, were horrified. David used Holly's surgery money for that woman's car? Grandma Alice's voice shook on the phone. Our granddaughter is paralyzed and he bought her a Mercedes? Grandma, I don't want you to get upset. Upset? I'm beyond upset. I'm disgusted. Don't you worry, sweetheart. We're fixing this. My Uncle Ray, Dad's brother, called next. I always knew Sharon was trouble. But this? This is unforgivable. How much do you need? Uncle Ray, I can't ask. You're not asking, I'm offering. How much? Within days, the family rallied. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone contributed. Mom's co-workers started a GoFundMe. My college friends organized fundraisers. The story spread through social media like wildfire. Father steals paralyzed daughter's surgery fund for trophy wife's luxury car. Sarah, my roommate, was particularly fierce. I'm posting this everywhere, she declared. Everyone needs to know what kind of man your father is. Sarah, I don't want to make this public. Holly, he stole your ability to walk for a Mercedes. This isn't about revenge. It's about accountability. The post went viral. Thousands of shares, hundreds of donations from strangers touched by the story. Local news picked it up. Local father chooses luxury car over daughter's legs became the headline that destroyed what was left of Dad's reputation. But the real shock came from Dad's work. His boss, Mr. Peterson, had a daughter with special needs. When he heard what Dad had done, he was furious. I can't have someone with that kind of judgment managing client accounts, he told Dad. You're being transferred to a position with no financial responsibilities. Consider yourself lucky you're not fired. The demotion came with a significant pay cut. Sharon was livid. This is your fault, I heard her screaming at Dad when I called to inform him about the surgery date, funded by everyone except him. Your bratty daughter turned everyone against us. Sharon, please. I need that car for my real estate business. How am I supposed to show houses in some regular car? You don't have a real estate business, Dad said tiredly. You failed the licensing exam 3 times. I was going to try again, but now we can't afford the class. Their marriage imploded spectacularly. Within 2 months, Sharon filed for divorce, claiming Dad had misrepresented his financial situation. She tried to keep the Mercedes, but since Dad had technically stolen the down payment, the court wasn't sympathetic. The car was repossessed. Sharon moved in with her mother. Dad ended up in a studio apartment, his family relationships destroyed, his reputation ruined. Meanwhile, I had my surgery. Dr. Patel was optimistic. We're past the optimal window, but not too late. You're young, strong, and determined. That matters. The surgery was successful, but recovery was brutal. Months of physical therapy, learning to walk again, pushing through pain that made me want to quit. Mom was there every day. My grandparents visited constantly. The family that had rallied to fund my surgery now rallied to support my recovery. Dad tried to visit once. Security turned him away. I'd put him on the no-visit list. Holly's not ready to see you, Mom told him. Maybe not ever. He sent letters. I burned them unread. 6 months post-surgery, I took my first unassisted steps. Shaky, painful, but mine. The physical therapy team cheered. Mom cried. I video called everyone who'd helped fund my surgery so they could see what their love had accomplished. Look at our girl go, Grandma Alice sobbed over FaceTime. My beautiful, brave granddaughter. A year later, I was not only walking, but jogging. Slowly, carefully, but moving. I returned to college, changed my major to disability advocacy law. My experience had shown me how vulnerable people with disabilities could be to financial abuse, even from family. Especially from family, my professor noted during a discussion on guardianship abuse. The extended family never forgave Dad. He wasn't invited to holidays, birthdays, or celebrations. When Grandpa Joe had a health scare, Dad tried to visit but was turned away by Uncle Ray. You lost the right to be family when you stole from Holly, Ray told him. Don't come back. I graduated with honors, walked across that stage on my own 2 legs, still weak but working. The cheering section was huge, all the family and friends who'd saved me when my father wouldn't. Dad watched from the parking lot. I know because security told me they'd escorted him off campus. Part of me felt sad. Most of me felt nothing. The Sarah who'd been planning to hike the Appalachian Trail with me? She postponed her own dreams to help with my recovery. We finally did that hike 2 years later, modified with plenty of rest days. But we did it. Every step was a victory my father had tried to steal. You know what the best part is? Sarah said at the summit. You're here because people who actually love you made it happen. Last month I saw him at a grocery store. He looked older, grayer, diminished. Sharon was long gone, moved to another state with another man. Dad was alone. Holly, he said, tears in his eyes. You're walking. No thanks to you. I know, I was stupid, selfish. You were my father. That was supposed to mean something. It did. It does. Holly, please. Do you know what the worst part was? I interrupted. Not the money, not even the paralysis. It was knowing that you looked at me, your daughter, in a wheelchair, possibly forever, and thought Sharon's car was more important. That's what I can't forgive. I regret it every day. Good. You should. I left him there, walking away on legs he'd tried to steal from me. These days, I work at a disability rights law firm. I help people protect themselves from financial abuse, medical neglect, and family betrayal. My story has helped more clients than I can count. Proof that survival and success are the best revenge. Mom and I are closer than ever. She jokes that she gained a daughter and lost an ex-husband's dead weight. The family that rallied for me became my true support system. Blood doesn't always mean loyalty, but love does. Sometimes people ask if I'll ever forgive my father. The truth? Forgiveness isn't owed. He made a choice. Sharon's luxury over my mobility. That choice has consequences. One of them is losing his daughter forever. He sends cards on my birthday. I donate them unopened to the office shredder. He's tried to friend me on social media with fake accounts, blocked every time. He even attempted to come to my law school graduation, but security was prepared. The last I heard, he was living with a cousin out of state, working retail, still paying off the debts Sharon left him. She, meanwhile, married some other fool and is probably draining his accounts as we speak. Dad got exactly what he chose, a temporary wife over a permanent daughter. Me? I got my legs back, a law degree, a career helping others, and a family that proved love isn't about DNA, it's about who shows up when you're broken. My father taught me the most valuable lesson of my life. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. He showed me I was worth less than a car, so I became worth more than he could ever imagine. Walking away from toxic people isn't just about physical distance. Sometimes it's about literally walking away on the legs they tried to take from you. So I ask you, if a parent chose their new spouse's luxury over your medical needs, would you ever let them back into your life? Or would you walk away forever on the legs they tried to steal?